Welcome back to TKO Takes, and today we're going to be looking at the teams that could seriously bust in brackets, not just get a few upsets, but actually make a deep run and potentially to the Final Four. And make sure to like and subscribe because there is a ton of college basketball content on this channel right now. I just dropped the top 5 overrated and top 5 underrated videos, and make sure to go check those out. And I still have more coming as well, plus whenever bracket drops, I'll have some bracket videos as well. So let's take a look at the honorable mentions who just missed out on the top 5 of this video. The first honorable mention is TCU, who, as of me recording this video on March 7th, are in the field after beating Texas Tech. And this team has some really solid players. David Punch is a great inside presence for them. Jaden Pierre makes some tough shots for them. And Brock Harding is a tremendous playmaker and defender. He almost gets 2 steals per game at the point guard spot. And they've gotten some huge wins this season and proven they can mess up some brackets if you give them the opportunity in March. And the next honorable mention is Texas, who have been playing pretty bad lately, but when they click, this team is dangerous. They have multiple options when it comes to ball handlers and scorers. They have Titus inside, who is a dominant inside presence that keeps you from losing to a small mid-major team. So with the guard play of Mark, Swain, and Pope, who are tremendous scorers, plus the inside big man Titus, I think this is a really solid Texas team this year. And then the last honorable mention team is going to be SMU. Funny enough, all of these are projected 10 seeds, but they have one of the best backcourts in the country with Boopie Miller and Jaron Pierre, who have been lighting up ACC teams all year. And it's just a really solid offense overall. Not the greatest defensive team, but if their backcourt gets hot, they can upset anybody. Alright, let's now get to the official top 5 sleeper contenders in March Madness 2026. Coming in at number 5 is the Arkansas Razorbacks, who made the Sweet 16 last year. Although I like last year's team a bit better, this is still a dangerous team. They have multiple scoring options with Darius Acuff, Billy Richmond, and Malik Thomas, and Trevin Brazile as well, so scoring is not going to be an issue for this team. It's been the defense that's been lacking. I mean, last year's team was so scrappy and outworked their opponents, and this is not quite that same team. But if Trevin Brazile plays defense as well as he did in last year's March Madness, this team is going to be a problem. So look out for John Calipari and the Razorbacks once again this March Madness. And then at number 4, we have the Wisconsin Badgers, who have had some of the best wins in all of college basketball this season. They beat Michigan, Illinois, and Michigan State. And they've done this because they've won the best backcourts in the country with John Blackwell and Nick Boyd, who can get a bucket whenever you need it. And Boyd was also on the FAU Final Four team, so he's proven he can lead a team to a deep run. And they also have a great big man in Noah Winter who can grab boards and stretch the floor. He's practically the second coming of Myers Leonard. So this team has proven they can beat the best of the best. And the third team I believe is a sleeper to make a deep run is Miami of Florida. And shout out to Miami of Ohio because I now have to specify that we're talking about the Florida one. So that's how you know they've had a great season. But I really like this Miami Florida team. Their point guard is Trey Donaldson, who took Michigan to the Sweet 16 last year. Malik Renew and Shelton Henderson are very similar players. They're great forwards who can handle the ball, bully you inside, and make open shots. So they're a lot like Otega Owe of Kentucky, and have also been hot lately, and they also rebound well, so don't be surprised if this potential 8 seed takes out a 1 seed, especially if you're UConn, who's projected to be the weakest 1 seed, so I really like this Miami team this year. And coming in at number 2 is a team nobody's going to talk about when it comes to underrated teams. It's UCLA. At one point, they were a bubble team, but they've gotten huge wins against Purdue, Nebraska, and Illinois recently, and this is a really interesting team. Xavier Booker was a transfer from Michigan State, and he was expected to be their go-to big man, but he struggled this season, and this team is thin on big, so they decided they'd basically run a 5-out offense. Their center is now Tyler Bilodeau, who is basically Danilo Gallinari 2.0, so this team is all offense, and somehow they're still a top 50 defense, so they're not that terrible defensively. They have really good guards with Donovan Dent, who took New Mexico to the round of 32 last year, Trent Perry, who averages 43% from 3, and Sky Clark, who also shoots an amazing 47% from 3. And they also got Eric Daly, who is a great inside the arc scorer. And then add their leading scorer with 18 a game, Tyler Bilodeau, their new center. He's a great scoring big as well. So this team is extremely dangerous, so don't count out UCLA if they play a 2 seed in the second round. And finally, the best sleeper pick in March Madness 2026 is the St. Louis Billikens, who have been a big story all year. It's because they have it's their version of Kobe and Shaq. You got Robbie Avila and Trey Green. Avila is a slow white guy who's basically the second coming of Jokic. He's a talented passer and shooter for a 5. And Trey Green is an elite scorer. He's basically Cam Thomas 2.0. That's all he does. He just scores. But this is surprisingly a deep team with a plethora of scorers. And this team actually tries on defense and is a top 50 defensive team. So I also appreciate that about this group. So once again, 2 seeds beware because the Billikens are looking to be the go-to upset team in this year's March Madness. So make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And tomorrow I'm dropping the top 5 wildcard teams. And then followed by the next day, we're dropping the top 5 Cinderella teams. So content is going to keep coming. I appreciate y'all. And God bless you all.